Well, good morning. This is Thursday, May the 13th, 2021. You have 4 days to get your taxes in and done. We continue our mini series of devotional thoughts here on this upcoming bright and sunny day on Ecclesiastes chapter 3, and we want to take a look at the last half of verse 5, where it says, a time to embrace and a time to shun embracing. What in the world does this mean? Does it mean that at face value it's okay at certain times to hug somebody, and then at other times you should not hug them? And what are those conditions and what are those situations? And let's not forget that we don't read back into the Bible our North American cultural understandings, that they have a culture in which the Spirit of God directed the authors, and in particular here Solomon, to write using certain Hebraic words, and those reading or listening to this would understand from their culture and from their perspective about what was going on. So we understand time also can be translated season. So there's a time or a season to embrace, and the Hebrew word for embrace simply means, not simply, but means to clutch, to clasp. So you get the impression of holding something or someone very securely. It would be related to hugging a person. Now, in our culture, we shake hands. Maybe we might hug. Rarely, though, will you find North American men hugging each other. That is just a uncomfortable no-no situation. But in the Hebrew culture, it would be a embrace, even to the point of kissing each other on the side of the face and putting the hands on the shoulder and going through a very elaborate greeting. May peace be to your house. May peace be to your house. May peace be to your wife. May peace be to your wife. May peace be to your children. And it could go on 5, 8, maybe 10 minutes. This is the idea of embrace. It is a term of endearment. It's a term of friendship. It's a term that means there is no barrier in the relationship. But it also can be used with deceit, because Judas embraced Jesus and kissed him. And then there is a season to shun embracing. To shun embracing, the Hebrew word for shun carries the idea to be distant, to separate oneself from another. So evidently there is something in the relationship here between these two Hebrew people or families or whatever it might be. And there would no longer be that loving, neighborly, ethnically accepting hug and embrace. They're not going to do that. They are going to distance themselves from the other person. So God is telling us through Solomon, there's a season to go ahead and embrace. There's a season to be close. There's a season to clutch and to grasp. But then there is also a season to refrain, to pull back, to distance oneself. And in the ecclesiastical understanding in the church setting, the idea of shunning most properly comes out in the area of church discipline. When someone has failed to respond to Matthew chapter 18 and its three different three different phases, then Paul in particular says you need to have nothing to do with that person. Don't associate with them. Shun them. So everything that was familiar before is not available because they are under divine discipline. Tomorrow when we get together, we're going to talk about a time to search and a time to give up as lost. And this would not apply to your cell phone or your car keys. So tune in tomorrow and let's see what this means as well.